Hey there, I'm glad you're back, Agent. Let's get right into the topic. One of the most critical themes in Division 2 is reducing TTK, which is time to kill. This generally calls for higher and faster damage output, which we call DPS, or damage per second, a core metric in the game. We've previously covered core attributes and attributes, ensuring that all gear has the right characteristics to reinforce your build's objectives. We're now going to add a massive cherry on top. That brings us to the topic of talents. Talents are special bonuses or buffs that augment your character's power. They enable your character to have enhanced capabilities and performance. Like the functions of red, blue, and yellow in the game, talents reinforce offense, defense, and skill builds. You can find them on weapons, body armor, and chest armor. Think of this as a trifecta like powers of 3. Exotic items will also have their own talent as well. Let's say you're going for a DPS build. Depending on what you need your build to do, you can find, farm, or craft gear with talents that will help you achieve your objective. They can augment your killing power, or buff your teammates. They can increase your skill power, give you bonus armor, and so on. Once you understand the concept, I encourage you to examine each talent in the game and read its descriptions. Division 2 provides a respectable number of them. Here is a quick example to help you understand the concept. Here on my chest armor is a talent called Obliterate, a favorite for high DPS builds. Generally, there are some themes in talent descriptions. I'll keep this very simple. First, it describes what aspect of your attributes it will augment. Second, it comes with conditions. In other words, there are strings attached. Do you have to do something first to trigger it? Third, there may be limits. For example, you'll get the buff if you do something, but it only lasts a short while. Or the buff is generally available until something happens, like getting hit. Let's take a look at the talent's fine print. Notice that the devs have highlighted important words in orange. What does this talent do? It increases total weapon damage. By how much? 1%. Stacks up to 20 times. This means you can reach up to 20% increased weapon damage. What's the requirement? It's not in orange, but it's very important. Right here. You have to score critical hits. Remember, I had previously covered critical hit chance and critical hit damage? Watch that video if you're new to this build system series. If your crit chance is low, say 10%, your chances of scoring critical hits is 1 in 10 bullets. But if you bring your crit chance to around 50%, your chances are, get this, 1 in 2 bullets. Don't exceed 60%, as that's the game's limit. As you can see, the Obliterate requires you to score critical hits to generate stacks. If you score those 20 hits, you'll increase total weapon damage by 20%. Some people's builds have high critical hit damage, but very low crit chance. They will struggle to score enough critical hits to meet Obliterate's requirement. Having the talent is not enough. If your build and choices don't meet a talent's requirements, you won't gain its buff or bonus. You won't dish out the increased damage you wanted. And that, fellow players, means wasted potential. If this resonates with you, and you need some pro tips on adjusting your build, check out my critical hit chance and critical hit damage video. So, pay attention to those orange keywords. The more you consider the wording and the dependencies the talents have, the more you connect the dots and find other gear and weapon talents to synergize and take your capabilities to the next level. Talents have dependencies. In other words, they have requirements and conditions. The bonuses they provide depend on you performing an action or maintaining a bonus. Here is an example I commonly run into where a player uses a talent, not realizing it won't empower them automatically. I'll use a tank build to illustrate this. This chest has a talent Perfect Intimidate. The regular talent is named Intimidate. Named items like this gear piece can offer perfect versions of a talent. It's like getting your plane seat bumped up from economy to first class. Here's what the fine print reads. While you have bonus armor, gain 1 stack each second, up to a max of 10. Each stack increases weapon damage by 4% to enemies within 10 meters. All stacks are lost when you have no bonus armor. The player using this has chosen this chest talent in isolation. They did so out of the best intentions, hoping that it will automatically give them increased weapon damage. Will it? Well, let's take a closer look at this description. Notice again that the devs have highlighted some important words in orange. What does this talent do? It increases weapon damage. What's the dependency? What does the bonus depend on? Enemies have to be within 10 meters, so this means you have to engage the enemy in close range. You won't generate stacks if the enemy is even 1 meter farther out. But wait, there's more. It's a critical point. Can you see what it is? It's this right here. While you have bonus armor, the operative word is while. That's also the requirement. While what? It says while you have bonus armor. In other words, this increased weapon damage depends on the presence of bonus armor. If you gain bonus armor, it will appear as these blue-colored extra armor bars. It's temporary. It doesn't last forever. While you have it, you have a window of opportunity. Okay, then, so the player needs bonus armor. Does his current build have a way of generating it? No. Do his team members have the ability? No. The player then must identify an additional talent that will meet Intimidate's requirements. Otherwise, the player is running around in the game with a chest talent that never gets activated, and that is unrealized potential. Next, let's talk about stacking talents and creating synergies. Earlier, I mentioned a trifecta, and I strongly encourage you to consider the talents of your backpack, chest armor, and weapon as part of the foundation of your build strategy. You have a primary and secondary weapon, as well as a sidearm. Each has a talent. For simplicity of discussion, I'll focus on the primary weapon. To activate Intimidate, or Perfect Intimidate, I need an additional talent, one that produces bonus armor. Does one exist? Yes. Right here on this backpack, we have the talent Adrenaline Rush. This talent is unique to backpacks. You can't apply it to other slots on your character's worn gear. Whenever you are within 10 meters, does that sound familiar? The Intimidate talent also has a 10-meter requirement. Whenever you are within 10 meters of an enemy, gain 20%? What? Bonus armor. And this is what many players using Intimidate are missing. They need bonus armor. As you can see, Adrenaline Rush generates that. It doesn't last forever, but as you move among enemies and they come into your periphery, you'll gain bonus armor, which triggers the increased weapon damage of Perfect Intimidate on this chest piece. Can I drive even more synergy from this build? Absolutely. I'll cover that in the next video of the series. Hope to see you again soon. Until next time, peace out and stay strong.